Hello, everyone. Today we are going to listen to a simple English story. Listen carefully. Try to understand as much as you can. Let's begin. A young woman named Sophie wakes up at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning. She stretches and smiles. The sun is already shining through her window. The sky looks clear and blue. It feels like a perfect day. Sophie does not have to work today. She decides to spend the day outside. She wants to go to the city park. Before leaving, she eats a simple breakfast. She makes toast with butter. She cooks one egg in a small pan. She drinks a cup of coffee. While she eats, she looks outside the window again. A few birds are sitting on the roof next door. She feels happy and calm. After breakfast, Sophie gets ready. She brushes her teeth and washes her face. She puts on a light green t-shirt, jeans, and comfortable shoes. She also takes a small hat because the sun is strong today. Before leaving, she puts a water bottle in her bag. She also adds an apple, a book, and her phone. Then she leaves her apartment. The park is about 20 minutes away. Sophie decides to walk. She enjoys walking through the quiet streets. There are many small shops and trees along the road. Some people are jogging. Others are walking their dogs. A cyclist passes by quickly and rings a bell. Sophie steps aside and smiles. Soon, she arrives at the park. It is bigger than she remembers. There are tall green trees everywhere. There are flowers in many colors. Red, yellow, pink, and white flowers line the paths. In the center of the park, there is a small lake. The water is very still. Sophie sits on a bench near the lake. She takes a deep breath. The air feels fresh and clean. She closes her eyes for a moment. She hears birds singing and leaves moving in the wind. After a few minutes, she opens her eyes and starts walking around the lake. Many people are in the park today. A couple is walking slowly, hand in hand. Two friends are laughing while talking. A man is jogging with headphones on. A little girl is feeding ducks near the water. Sophie watches the ducks swim across the lake. She smiles at how peaceful everything feels. Later, she finds a flower garden inside the park. There are roses, sunflowers, and tulips. A gardener is watering the plants. Sophie says, "Hello, this garden is beautiful." The gardener smiles and says, "Thank you." She takes a few photos with her phone. She wants to remember this moment. After walking for a while, Sophie sits under a large tree. She opens her book and begins to read. She reads quietly for about 30 minutes. Every few minutes, she looks up and watches people pass by. No one seems stressed. Everyone looks relaxed and happy. Around noon, Sophie feels hungry. She eats the apple she brought from home. She drinks some water. Nearby, a family is having a picnic. The children are playing catch. The parents are laughing and talking. Sophie enjoys watching them. Later, She walks to the playground. Children are climbing, sliding, and swinging. The sound of laughter fills the air. Sophie remembers her own childhood. She remembers playing in parks like this. After some time, the weather becomes warmer. Sophie walks back toward the lake. She notices something small on a rock near the water. It is a turtle. She stops and watches it carefully. The turtle moves into the water and disappears. Sophie laughs quietly to herself. Before leaving the park, she buys a cold lemonade from a small stand. It tastes sweet and refreshing. She drinks it slowly while sitting on a bench. She feels thankful for the peaceful day. Finally, Sophie starts walking home. She looks around the park one last time. The flowers, the trees, the lake, and the people all feel calm and beautiful. She thinks to herself, I should come here more often. When she gets home, she changes her clothes, she makes a cup of tea, and sits down and looks at the photos she took. They remind her of a simple, happy day. Before going to bed, Sophie writes one sentence in her journal. Today was a simple day, but it was a very good day. She smiles. She turns off the light and falls asleep. All right, let's do some comprehension questions. How much of the story did you understand? Where does Sophie go on her day off? Sophie goes to the park on her day off. The city park. What does Sophie bring in her bag before leaving home? Do you remember what Sophie put in her bag before leaving home? She brings an apple, a book, her phone, and a water bottle in her bag. What animals does Sophie see in the park? Sophie sees ducks and a turtle in the park. What does Sophie buy before going home? She buys a cold lemonade before going home. What does Sophie write in her journal at the end of the day? She writes, Today was a simple day, but it was a very good day. How many questions did you get right? Tell me in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.